That's not fair. Why are we not? Why are you?
Oh, well, I'm dead.
Because I'm good. I'm good at this game. That's why.
Hey everyone, this is Carbonite, and today we are bringing you another history match. Now, of course, having made the leap to Breakers of Limits, there is no way that we can go through this format without going over Gold Paladin, one of the new breakout stars in the set. Definitely a very strong deck, was a very strong meta contender at the time. So let's go ahead and take a look at how it does against the previous meta contender, or pretty much the best deck like just straight up the best deck, Royal Paladins, which have not gotten any support in this new set, but honestly they really don't need it in order to still compete with the rest of the new decks from BT6. Anyways, we do see Marin being ridden, calling out the Barco calling out a Flogel from the deck, and a Lian being called down here. So basically committing 2 cards to get a almost full board there. We're going to be taking that first swing, not hitting into any defensive, so we're just going to be guarding for a 2 to pass, which of course we only have 1 drive, so that's not going to happen. And now we're going to be taking a look at Ezel, and we're going to see how strong Ezel actually is, as we see the Bowmains being ridden, Gareth being called, and then using the skill of Criff in order to superior ride into that Blonde Ezel. So Blonde Ezel has been doing superior ride shenanigans from the very beginning, the first set that he was introduced into. And we're honestly just seeing the power of it, because the opponent is at grade 1 and we're already at grade 3. So we're going to call down another Ezel here and then just start swinging. Unfortunately hitting into a defensive there, but Ezel is going to be swinging with that twin drive. Unlike a lot of the other iterations of Ezel, this one does not lose a drive. We hit a draw trigger there, so this second damage is going to be going through, pushing Royals all the way to 2. So Royals are going to have to see what they want to do in order to actually, combat that. And looks like we're going to be opting to not ride up and instead using the Barkle skill to search out probably that last piece that we need, being the Future Knight Lu. I'm going to be calling it, and then looks like Royal Paladins are going to be going for a superior ride of their own. Of course, superior ride is cool and all, but honestly, I think overall the Gold Paladin Superior Ride is just so much better. For one, it doesn't take 2 triggers out of the deck, but at the same time, unlike Ezel's Superior Ride, you don't actually have to draw into all the pieces, because you do have your starter there. You got Barkle, who can just straight up call out whatever you need, or basically the pieces you need for you. So in a little bit, it is pretty good still as well, but of course you do just go up the next grade, so it's not as great as hopping all the way to grade 3. But anyways, we see a Gordon and a Ganslot being called out here. Swinging the Gordon, which, in case you guys aren't aware, Ezel is still a 10k base Vanguard, and he always was. So these attacks are going to be a little bit annoying. That 15k is going to be calling for a 10k, but we're just going to be attacking it. This Galatine is going to be calling for the 5k, and then of course Blaster Blade is going to be a 1 to pass, but unfortunately that trigger is going to be hit there. Next up, we do see the other great Gold Paladin card, the card from the Structure deck, or the Trial deck actually, Garmor, honestly serving as the real main boss unit of Gold Paladins, just for its ability that we just see here. You can counterblast 2 and then call any Gold Paladin as long as it is grade 2 or less. And we are seeing the Charred Gull being called there, which is the dedicated booster for the Garmor. So it's very nice to have a card that literally just tutors for its own, or a card that supports a unit that can tutor itself. And we are seeing a lot of strong attacks here. That Vanguard already swinging for 21 against this grade 1, accidentally riding what's her name, Isolde. But really, we're going to be going into Royal Paladin's big boy, of course being that, I almost call him Future Knight. It is King of Knights, Alfred. Going to be a very strong unit here. Not calling down a full board, so we're not going to get the full power of Alfred here, but we still are going to be getting a very big Vanguard swing here, being 18 without having to commit any kind of booster or any extra power. So this is going to be swinging for a twin drive. Unfortunately, we do see a critical trigger there, so Gold Paladin going straight to 5, and now we are in a very dicey situation, especially with his Gordon calling for a 25k guard. Just going to be throwing down that heal and the draw trigger there. So Royals are definitely catching up in the race as we go for a second Garmor here. Honestly, like, the best thing you can do is continuously just ride over Garmors over and over again, and then just keep tutoring and getting free units. As we do see the Dindrain being called here, definitely something that I do need right here, as we're going to Soul Blast one and draw another card. So calling out the Trip being one of the very rare things in this format, which is a counter charger. Not very many decks have access to counter charge unless your name is Nova Grapplers, but we are seeing the Garmar swing here. Now at Limit Break, finally, we are going to be getting an extra 5k, so this is going to be a 26k attack, bringing back some payback and getting a critical trigger of our own. So now Royals are at 5 as well, not getting a defensive either. This Trip is going to be swinging for 20, so I'm going to be using the Gordon's Special Intercept as well as another card from hand, and then guarding the final attack with a trigger. So now Royals is a little bit in the hot seat here, but at the same time, we're both in a pretty bad situation. We're both at 5 damage. We have to guard every single attack, but I believe I am just in a little bit of a worse position here, just because I only have one intercept. Well, I guess they don't have any intercepts. I believe that Royals still have quite a few cards. Oh, there's at least like 2 or 3 there. So looks like we're actually going to be setting up for the next turn, going to be using the skill of that Pongal to counterblast one, put it to Self to Soul, and then of course adding the Soul Saver Dragon to the hand. I'm going to be using the second Leon here to discard. Looks like we're discarding a Flogel, probably just looking for, you know, units to attack with, and, you know, just make a little bit of pressure this turn. And then of course using the skill of King of Knights Alfred here, counter blasting that 3, going to be allowing us to, you know, just get any card from the deck pretty much. And looks like we're going to be going for that Gordon there, who unfortunately is not currently able to actually hit anything. So we're seeing the power of being able to just like superior call straight from the deck, as we're going to be using the Margal skill here, giving the extra 3k power to that Gordon, meaning that Gordon will at least be calling down for a 5k shield here. So we still do have 2 empty rearguard circles there, so Alfred is not at full power, but looks like we are going to be swinging, not yet, we're going to be swinging the Gordon for just the 11. Of course, that is going to be we're going to have to guard that because, you know, we want to not die here, as the Alfred swings in for a 16. That is going to be perfect guarded, as we see a Drive Check Alfred and a Future Knight Lou. So I'm thinking, okay, he's got 2 grade 3s in his hand. Surely I can close things out here. I've got 3 attacks. I've got 1 really big Vanguard swing. So hopefully that will be enough to close things out. Going to be swinging for that 26, a very big attack. But unfortunately, we have the Isolde discarding that Alfred. So it's all going to depend on my drive checks. I drive check a critical trigger here, and the second check is going to be a blank. So hopefully this 21 can be enough to close the game out. It is going to be pushing for 2 damage, and that's going to be calling for a 15k guard, as we're going to intercept with the Gordon and call down another Pongal, and then swinging the Trip for the final attack of 15k, calling down a 10k guard. But as we know, there is a Future Knight Lou in the hand that has not been used quite yet, and I believe that is going to be allowing them to, you know, have enough power to just guard that final attack. Yep, there we go, the Future Knight Lou. So now I'm in the hot seat once again, and we know the last card in his hand is that Soul Saver Dragon with more than enough soul, going to be giving the extra 5k to both of those Leands, calling down an Isolde and an Alfred, last 2 cards in the hand. But this surge of power might be more than I'm actually able to handle, as each of these swings are probably going to be calling for at least 10k or 15k, guarding this one for a Of course, just 15k there. And the Vanguard swing for 13. I'm going to have to 1 to pass. First check, going to be nothing. Second check is going to be a heal trigger. So that attack is going to be going through. And I'm going to have to check for my own heal trigger. But unfortunately, it is not going to be there. So that is going to be the end of the match. I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to do all these 2 things. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.